Welcome to the old city of Jerusalem. This is one of the main markets of the city, and we are heading to a beautiful place. It's not secret because you can see the title, but it's beautiful, and it's the first video that I'm taking of it, and this is the most amazing part of it. Then we will turn right at Yamina. Here. And if you're talking about good coffee, this is a great place for coffee, but we are heading to a new Franciscan place that's been renovated lately. The smell of it is amazing here. And that's the name of it. It will cost you 5 shekels. And it's worth visiting. The smell is amazing. Let's look at it. Oh no, take a picture. I'm taking a video of it. This beautiful place worth the 5 shekels, and you can see how amazing it is. But it's not only the modern renovation. It's a lot about the ancient part of it, and there's so many things to see here. Dar Al-Consul, the middle of the 19th century, 1856. This part of the old city, in the Muslim quarter, was a part of the Prussian Germany consulate, the Dutch consulate, Dar House of Consul House. Then the residence of the consul and his family is above us, and it became to be the place of culture. Konrad Chick, if you know him, if you are following my YouTube channel, you might know him. Then he was here as well. If you will go backward, it was to be a place of Jews. It was a Kollel Hod. The Ottomans didn't support that Jewish project, and meanwhile the situation got worse and worse. Then they sold it to the Latin Patriarch in 1888. And the Franciscans took care of it. It was bought by the Latin Patriarch. They did nothing with the place. In the early 20th century, the Latin Patriarch gave it to the Franciscans. It's amazing, isn't it? They gave the upper part to local Christians, and I think they pay almost nothing. Christian Palestinians. Free of charge, yes. That's the thing. There's a lot of problems at the houses because of humidity, electricity, and no one could, the elderly people couldn't live there anymore. They had no choice. They decided to renovate that place. And it's been in 2020, they started to do that. It's a huge project. Yeah, they have to support everything, to excavate. They found so many things here. 8 years it took them to reopen that place. November 2021, it was open to the public and to those people who lives there. And this is one of the most luxury places in the city. There are 40 apartments there. Sadly, we cannot go there because it's a private place. But you saw a little bit of it. You can see the renovation. And they want to turn that place into a culture place, a business place. It was renovated with Al-Quds, a Palestinian university in Jerusalem. And of course the UN and the Pope. Yeah. Without any help of Israel. The idea is to preserve the local Palestinian Arab center, but mostly the Christians. The idea is to keep the Christians in the Holy Land, which is not so easy now. Most of the most of the Christians left Israel and Palestine. There's only 2% of them in the Holy Land. It's beautiful to understand that the Catholic wants to stop the immigration, to keep the living stones here next to the dead stones of ancient Jerusalem. Beautiful idea. I love that idea. This is not the only place that the Franciscans are doing it. You can find it in Bethlehem, you can find it in Nazareth, in Beth Hanina, which is Jerusalem, and Nazareth. It's a lovely project to keep the living stones here in the Holy Land, in Israel and Palestine. Ayelet is our tour guide, and let's listen to her.
Some of the apartments. Okay, so in the courtyard. So they have fresh air, they have open sky, for very basic apartments. Now, if you could look, this tree, I don't know how good it feels, because it looks like it doesn't grow or develop. But anyway, this is an olive tree that was ceremoniously planted here in the inauguration celebration in November 2021. And of course, it is meant to symbolize, to manifest the peace, the hope. It reminds us of the end of the flood when Noah had the olive branch from the dove. But in addition, and remember, we are here in the Palestinian orientation. This, for the Palestinians, is the symbol of sumud? Is this the word of
connected to the land.
To the land. With the roots, survival, staying in the Holy Land. So it was another important reason to plant here inside. It's not so, I don't know if it will, but the olive tree. So it has several meanings. And over there, we will get there, but to be done with the Palestinian aspect, it's like a coffee corner.
Yes.
And not by coincidence, it is decorated with Palestinian style embroidery. Now, what about the history and archaeology of the place? I will make it very simple, not only because of the time, but also because it's not very clear. Now, if you think about it, we came here from what used to be the path of the Western Cairo, or we also even call it Main Cairo,
Main
Cairo
Street.
Maximus.
Yeah.
And now we are to the east. The Cairo, the Main Cairo, or the Western Cairo would be outside over there. So here in in First Temple period, it was outside the city. I will show you a tomb from First Temple period. We are outside the city. Second Temple period, this is a part of Jerusalem that was included in the city, in the walls, when the second wall was built. Okay, so it would be outside the first wall, inside the second wall. We are not far away from the Church of the
First wall,
which is
Hashmonite.
believed
Second
to be
wall,
just
Herod.
outside the second wall. Then you have Elia Capitolina. Elia Capitolina, around 135. Here, perhaps
Hadrian
there were
city.
shops just outside the Western Cairo. And again, in the Byzantine period, we are not far away here from the main entrance, the entrance from the Cairo to a very important, the most important place, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And it is assumed that here either there were shops, especially in this part that is closer to the street, perhaps there were shops. And over there, we will get there in the end of our circle. They have found some remains of a big monumental public Byzantine structure. It is dated to the 6th century. Perhaps it was a church, perhaps it's one of the structures that you can see in the Madaba map next to this street.
That's what I was saying.
But maybe it was something else. It's not sure. It could be a church. There are arguments which church exactly. Now about this tunnel, I haven't found yet a really accurate and agreed upon dating for this tunnel. So some of the archaeologists that I've read, it was done by the Israeli Authority of Antiquities, but there are different publications. So some would say that maybe it begins already in the Byzantine period, not for sure, but at least not to drink, but to take.
But a drainage.
Yes, like to take water. But perhaps it's from the early Muslim period or later. But anyway, you have here a tunnel of
And I was told.
water. In the early Muslim period, and even more than that, in Mamluk period, there used to be around this part of the city a big industry of soap. Soap production, oil production, olive oil press, sesame press, and this whole zone was called Khan Azet. That's until today.
Khan
the
Azet.
name of the city. Khan Azet, or even Souk Khan Azet, like a market for oils. So perhaps it was the later usage of the place. And they are not even sure when all these structures were built. You have here a complexion of perhaps it began in the Crusader period, perhaps Mamluk, but anyway, the way we see it now, it's more Ottoman, and then the renovations that were made in order to support everything. So I'm not going to try to tell you this is this and this is that. Now, let's go there. Over here on the left, you can look through the ground, to the floor, and see a very big water cistern. And they abandoned it. I thought it was very difficult. The manager told me, and they had to support it with concrete and evacuate all the things that were inside. They were amazed each time again of how many underground holes and cisterns. No, we are not stopping you.
That here you can see a way. I mean, this is a Roman way.
Here they have a small auditorium. I cannot give you an accurate dating. Again, it's not because of me. An accurate dating for these parts. It could be.
It looks like a Roman thing. It's then what you can see here is a lot of ancient things. I actually noticed that she doesn't know, she knows, but no one knows.
You can see the opening of
A tomb.
burial cave of a tomb. It is dated to the second Iron period.
You saw the tomb before, but I didn't talk about it.
A tomb. It has the shape of a het, and 3 bedrooms.
Can I?
With the support from the head, and underneath the northern one, the one to the right, there is, I don't know the English word for ma'asefah, to collect the bones.
Repository.
Repository.
Sure, it's the small box, but here you have like a
Repository.
in the rock. So the repository?
Repository.
No, ossuary.
Repository. No.
Repository.
That's the second and the first temple period. It's called also IO2. IO2.
Then second temple with first. All right, now it sounds more. Yeah. First temple too.
It's very typical. It's like a Ketef. Guys, please be quiet. It's like the Ketef like the one.
Then it is Jewish evidence from the first temple time. That means it was outside the city at that time.
But still it has it. So guys, let's go stand around, or you could also stand in the middle if you're not afraid. So what we see here is a finding dated to the 6th century AD. 6th century, that's the Byzantine period. It is a water cistern. It was underneath, it's underground. It was underneath some public structure that was here, perhaps a church, maybe something else. Some scholars suggested to connect it to a church that is located to the east of the main card in Madaba map, or maybe a structure with a yellow roof that is shown in Madaba map, to the right side, to the east side of the
A mosaic
west. Now, it has a mosaic floor.
And water system?
They didn't give any explanation for that. It's not very typical, but it has the mosaic floor. And
Because it is mosaic from it is Byzantine.
now
It
it
looks like a
shows us
grotto or
that something
whatever.
important was here. It shows us the power of the city of this period.
This was a cistern
Yeah, water
with a
cistern.
mosaic?
With a-
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yes,
That's
that's
how-
all of us.
That's how I found it.
Strange, isn't it?
And again, for me, the reason to come here is not the archaeology, but you may decide when you guide if you want to give an idea of the layers of Jerusalem, of the surprises,
Yeah.
how you can see a door and then discover things upstairs and downstairs.
And I'm sorry,
So,
this here is the arch?
yeah, it's like a supporting
The roof.
Structure
Yeah.
above the cistern.
And here there was supposed to be a floor. I'm not
The
sure if
street
they found it
levels
this way.
is here.
It's possible that they found something above and removed it so we could see. I'm not sure.
They have a plaster here.
Okay, and now on
On
the
the
way
wall.
out we will pass by the toilets if you need them. Maybe it's
Hallelujah.
not,
It's not
because
very
then
big.
we're walking to the Archaeological Museum where I'm not sure we could use the toilet. So if you happen
we're
to
down
need it,
there.
we can use it here. And I hope that this place for each of you, each of us,
Guys.
has our own interests and fields of guiding.
If you like
So
that
perhaps
video,
we-
then don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And thank you for being with me. Let me take you down, cause I'm going to strawberry fields. Guys, if you reach that point, 60 minutes, write a comment. I want to know if people are still alive, if people are actually are listening to me. Then a comment can be a nice thing from you. Thank you. Bye.